Alright, guys, so the UFC is back this Saturday with Fight Night, and it's Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady, and this is a pretty good fight in the welterweight division. Can Gilbert Burns stay in the top 10 and go on another run for the title, or is Sean Brady going to be too much for him? I'm going to talk about that fight, and before I get to that, I want to quickly give some predictions for the fights earlier on the card. And this is a pretty solid card. It's not the best, but we've definitely seen some worse Fight Night cards this year. But with that being said, I'm just gonna get right into my predictions for the official card. And the first fight on there is gonna be, I might be butchering his name, but his name is Zhu Rong versus Chris Padilla. And for this one, I think I'm gonna go with Chris Padilla. He's been more active. He fought this year, while Zhu Rong, he hasn't fought in quite some time because he had some fights that were cancelled. But I'm gonna go for the momentum of Chris Padilla in this one. Then we have Trevor Peek versus Yanal Ashmuz. And Trevor Peek, he definitely has a lot of talent. He's got a lot of power. He's very strong, but when it comes to his technical ability, he just lacks quite a bit. He'll throw these crazy punches, some back fists, some haymakers. It's crazy. It's not really technical, and he takes a lot of damage. He definitely needs to work on his defense, and he did get dropped, I think, in his last fight or the fight before that. But unless he's made some serious unless he's fixed some serious holes in his game and worked on his technique, I don't think I'm gonna pick him. I think I'm gonna go with Yanal in this one. I think he could probably stop Trevor Peek maybe in the third round by a TKO. And then we have Match now, who was supposed to fight Alessandro Costa, and I thought that he was going to lose that fight, but now he's taking on Joshua Van. And this is a bit of a closer fight. I think that Match now, he could potentially get this done, but his chin is just he's been KO'd so many times. It's crazy. I don't think he'll be able to take those punches, and it seems like it's a pretty rough cut for him in the flyweight division, and I think he could get stopped again by Joshua Van taking this on short notice. And then we got Steve Garcia versus Kyle Nelson, and both of these guys are actually coming off of first round knockouts, and they've had some pretty good performances lately. But I think I'm gonna go with Steve Garcia for this one by decision. I think it's gonna be a competitive and tough fight for both, but I'd favor Steve Garcia slightly. And then in the co-main event, we got Jessica Andrade versus Natalia Silva. And, I feel like Jessica Andrade, she should really just stay in the strawweight division. I think she's too small in the flyweight division. I mean, she was getting pieced up by Erin Blanchfield, and we saw how Erin Blanchfield performed against Manon Fiorot. And I think that Natalia Silva is just going to be, hitting her with some heavy kicks, because she's got some incredible kicks, and I could even see her dropping Jessica Andrade at one point with one of those head kicks. Jessica Andrade, she just beat Marina Rodriguez in the strawweight division, and she's potentially one more win away from getting a title shot in that division. So why would you kill your momentum and hype by losing a fight in the flyweight division? I feel like she's just way too small in that weight class, and her punches aren't as devastating as they are in the strawweight division. So I think she should really just stay in that weight class. But yeah, I think that Natalia Silva could win this fight by a third round stoppage. But then we got the main event, Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. Now Gilbert, he's coming off, I believe, 2 losses. He lost to Bilal Muhammad on short notice, and then he lost to Jack Della Maddalena by knockout. And Gilbert, he is coming off 2 losses, but I think I'm gonna pick him in this one. I think that he's got incredible jiu-jitsu. I think he's got great wrestling defense. And Sean Brady, he's a strong grappler and he's got good jiu-jitsu. But I think that Gilbert Burns is going to be able to defend those takedowns from him. I think that he's going to be able to, even if he does get taken down, I think that he's going to be able to reverse him. I mean, a guy like Michael Chiesa was able to reverse him. Kelvin Gastelum, who's jiu-jitsu isn't that great, was able to reverse him. And I think that Gilbert is a lot better than Calvin, and he's a lot better than Michael Chiesa on the ground as well. And I think that his striking is far better than Sean Brady. I mean, this guy dropped a prime Kamaru Usman. He dropped Khamzat Chimaev, who was like on a surge, beating everybody up. And, he's had a lot of experiences fighting these top-level guys. Even against JDM, he was winning the fight up until that finishing sequence. So I think that in this one, he's going to be able to defend the grappling. I think that he's going to be a bit more aggressive because Sean Brady doesn't really have that power. Kind of like how Gilbert was aggressive against Tyron Woodley. I think he's going to go back to that style a little bit after getting finished like that by JDM. He got like knocked out. His set bounced off the canvas. Like, that's not a good look. So I think to beat a guy like Gilbert Burns, you got to have a crazy pace, like a guy like Bilal Muhammad. And, you got to have some pretty good hands. And we've seen that Sean Brady, he got TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad. But also, I think that you need some good power, like to your punches, and really get like a good level of boxing that I think that Sean Brady is lacking. Kind of like how JDM was able to put some hands on Gilbert Burns, or how Kamaru Usman was putting hands on him, or even Khamzat with that power advantage that he had. But this is also a 5-round fight, and I saw that Michael Chiesa fight with Sean Brady, and like, if you're getting outstruck by like a guy like Michael Chiesa, that's quite a bit of a red flag in my opinion. I don't think Michael Chiesa is really that good of a striker, and you're getting pieced up by him. Your nose is busted, you're bleeding all over the place. Like, it's not a good look, and I can't really trust a guy like that to beat someone as legit as Gilbert Burns. But in that Michael Chiesa fight, he was starting to gas out in round 3. Like, he was getting his takedowns defended, and it kind of seemed like he was on his way out of there. But unfortunately, Chiesa wasn't able. I think he got taken down near the end, and he didn't really have enough power in his hands to really do something. But I think that Gilbert Burns, he's been 5 rounds. He's going to be able to hit him with those hard shots. And I think that we have seen a bit of quit in Sean Brady in that Bilal Muhammad fight. He kind of like gave up, and he was like, okay, I've had enough. This guy's beating me up. Let me just take my lunch and go home. And that's what he did. And I think he's going to do this again. And yeah, I think that Gilbert Burns could potentially like TKO him, I believe, in round 4, if not win by decision. But Gilbert Burns should win this fight. And, if he loses this, and you don't want to stick around and get damaged, you might as well just retire.
With his great big smile, and you'll find that even a kid is swinging in a later style. Oh.